Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Gifule for those who don't know, and I hope that you guys enjoyed today's topic. I am very excited to talk about this and very happy to be with you guys today. So, if it's your first time watching, please hit the like button, especially if you like what you see, and hit the subscribe button so that you can get more and more today's goodness that I have to offer. So, let's get into today's topic. So, in our everyday lives, we're faced with different types of people. Some people are people who build us, people who add value to our lives, people who we care about, and we know for a fact that they care about us. There are people who make us happy. We have good relationships with those people. Most cases, those people we assume, or in most cases, those people are our family and our close friends. But we also have people who are the opposite of that, and those are people who drain us more than build us. People who never ever speak any positivity into our lives. People who make us feel like we are small. People who just drain us emotionally, physically. You love the person, but that person just brings nothing or very few good things to the table. There are people who you are constantly there for them in some cases, but they are hardly ever there for you. So if you know that you have such people in your life, today's video is for you, because we are going to talk about eliminating, or should I say dealing with, maybe not say eliminating, dealing with negative people in your life. I've done some research about it. I will put the link down in the description for where I got some of these tips. If you remember, step 3 of the previous video was finding resources. So I've used one resource on my own, and I hope that it's going to be very helpful today. It's going to be very helpful today with dealing with these kind of people in your lives. Okay, so with situations like this, you have to look at both sides of the story, even though that sounds crazy, but you have to. And on your side, you have to look at yourself. And in looking at yourself, firstly, you must understand that you are not taking responsibility for the way that the relationship is. You are not saying that things are your fault. But what you are looking at is, what is it about you that makes you a target? What is it about you, right? So according to the source, the psychology today, they say that you need to look at, what is it about your personality that makes you an easy target? Are you somebody who likes to maintain peace? So whenever this person comes shouting at you, whenever you are faced with people who make you feel like less of a person, whenever you are faced with people who just drag you, how do you react in that situation? Are you somebody who just likes to maintain peace? So your way of maintaining peace is not reacting, is not saying anything, not doing anything. Are you somebody who fears rocking the boat? So are you somebody who doesn't want to lose the friendship that you have, or the relationship that you have with that person, or those people that are around you? So you just go along with it, you allow it because you want to keep peace and you want to maintain the level of friendship. Another thing that you need to do while looking at yourself is reflect on previous interactions that you had with this person, these people, when there were times where there was a behavior that you were not comfortable with. How did you react when things like that were happening? Because there is such a thing as an underreaction. Underreaction meaning that you didn't really give off that sensitivity. You are not comfortable. You didn't speak out about the And in most cases, with negative or with toxic people, underreaction is seen as permission to carry on doing what they're doing. If I'm somebody who every time I say to you, you know, at work maybe, your work is really slacking, maybe you just need to like get off your lazy ass, or maybe it's just like that weight. Maybe you need to take care of your health first before you start doing. I'm trying to think of an example, but those things. And every time somebody says something like that to you, you just go, okay, I hear you. Or you think you're just brushing it off because you're keeping peace. Somebody else might see that as an underreaction, and somebody might be like, okay, so I can keep doing whatever I want to do, because it's not like if is going to do anything. It's not like if is going to say anything to stop me from what I was doing. So those are the two things. The first set, I think we should make the steps. First step again is to reflect on what is it about you that allows that person to treat you the way that they treat you, or that person to do the things that they do to you. But also reflect on previous interactions that you may have had with that person, those people, and think of how you reacted. The way that you react to the things that people say and the things that people do to you might be seen as permission from those people to continue doing the things that they do to you. Moving on, we want to look at the gut feeling. When you are in a friendship, a relationship, or in a workspace that you know is just not sitting well with you. There's things that happen there that you just feel like this should not be happening at all. I should not be here. I should not be allowing this to happen. That is your gut feeling, and that is the feeling that you need to trust. That is the feeling that you need to listen to when it tells you. Because in most cases, what we tend to do is we make excuses. We make excuses for the way that things are. I remember working in a space where we just weren't taught good values. We were taught to lie, to manipulate, do what you need to do to get what you want. And you justify that by saying that it's a target-driven environment. We're trying to reach numbers, so we need to work hard. You want to get to the top of your team, you want to get to the top of the company, so do whatever you need to do. So when you are in that work environment, you justify it like that no, things need to be done because we need to reach targets, we need to get numbers. You justify relationships by saying, no, that's just who the person is, that's who she is, that's how she speaks, that's how she is, that's how she treats people. So sometimes you know that something is wrong, you know that things shouldn't be the way they are, but we justify them. We find reasons for them to be the way that they are, for us to stay in such situations, or for us to allow things to be the way that they are. So second step is definitely trust and listen to your gut. When your gut tells you that something shouldn't be happening, you shouldn't be allowing, it's because it should not be happening, and you should not be allowing that thing to be happening. Moving on, we're going to look at what is known in psychology. Well, I got it from Psychology Today as the sunk cost fallacy. Now, a fallacy is something that is basically a lie, something that isn't real. It isn't real, right? So the sunk cost fallacy speaks about how human beings like to hold on to what they have in the short term. Even if you know that letting go of this is going to be good for you in the long run, you still want to hold on to it because it's what you know. It speaks about how human beings are afraid of what they don't know, and so they would rather stay close to, and they would rather stay with what they know. Right? So it's the mindset that focuses on, so you find reasons to stay. You think about what you invested into that place. If it's a relationship, you think about, oh, I've worked so hard for this relationship to be where it is. I've invested so much emotionally. If it's a workplace, you think, yeah, I've worked so hard to be where I am right now. I'm not just going to let these people win. I'm not quitting. I'm not moving away. Finding reasons to justify why you should remain where you are, why you should remain in that friendship, why you should remain in that relationship, in that friendship, and in that workspace. But the thing about it is that an investment is not something that you can get back. An investment, once you've put it in, especially in human beings, you've put it in. And if you see that it's not going, it's not growing, it's not going anywhere. But an investment, you must see who's okay. I've put this in, this is what I'm getting back. With such situations, most of the time, you hardly are ever getting anything back. If you've invested a lot emotionally, that emotion that you've invested, it's gone. If you've invested a lot of hard work, that company's like, okay, thank you for your hard work. And so, what you think you have invested, the other party is saying as that's what you were supposed to do. So it's not really an investment, you were just doing what you were supposed to do. So a way to counteract this, right, is that when you find yourself thinking about what you've invested, you are now in a space where you need to try and think about ways to get out of that situation, because that investment is not coming back to you. It was a waste of your time, right? We're going to move on to the second last step, which is step 4, and that is creating and setting boundaries. With a lot of people, they get used to what we allow them to do. They get used to how things function. They get used to the way things are. So you must remember that with somebody who is used to speaking to you any way that they want to, or treating you any way that they want to, when you suddenly out of the blue decide that you want to set boundaries or want to put your foot down, it's not going to be received very well. I remember where I was staying last year, it was an issue of the TV, right? So what it was is that we spent half the year allowing the guys to just watch whatever they wanted to watch on TV any time of the day. We would stay in our rooms. So towards the end of the year, we got to a point where we were just like, nah, this is not going to happen anymore. We also parent for the TV because I'm a student, I stay in res. We also parent for the TV, so we're also going to watch what we want to watch. That boundary that we set was not accepted very well. Why? Because for a long time, we had allowed them to do whatever they wanted to do at any time that they wanted to do. Now we were raising a voice to say that no, it's not going to happen. That no was not received very well, because now it was like, excuse me, what are you doing? This is not how things work here. So it became a fight. And their reaction was, if you're not going to listen to us and if you're not going to allow us to do what we want you to do, we're going to shut you out. And it wasn't easy. Now we went from living in a house that was peaceful because we allowed certain things to happen, to living in a house that's filled with tension. Now it's like, we're not going to talk to you, Kifilwe. We're not going to speak to you. We're going to shut you out. We're going to treat you like an outsider. Why? Because you put your foot down and you set a boundary that was never there in the first place. So whenever you set a boundary for people, understand that there's going to be backlash. Ne? Because it was never there. You are now taking away the power that they had over you. So it's not going to be an easy thing for them to accept. But one thing that's also important to remember is that when setting a boundary, do not be rude about it. Do not be accusatory about it. Like, yeah, you always do this, yeah, and I'm tired of you doing this, and I'm tired of you doing that. I made that mistake once, and yeah. I'm tired of you doing this. Set a boundary. Let's go back to the example of the colleague. When somebody gives you criticism, right, and says, oh, your work is this, and then starts to make it personal. Yeah, it's because of your weight, it's because of you doing this, that. Be assertive about it and say that I appreciate the criticism. I appreciate what you are saying, but there's no need for you to make it personal. I do not appreciate you making it about my weight or about my appearance when my appearance has nothing to do with my job. Be calm, be assertive, put your foot down and say, I love you, but I'm not happy with this, and I'm not going to allow you to talk to me like this anymore. I care about you, but I'm not going to allow this to happen. You are my colleague, we work together, but I'm not okay with this, and I will not allow this to happen anymore. My boundary, especially in a lot of my friendships, was honesty. To say that more than anything, I want honesty. And if you cannot give me the honesty, then there's no need for us to be friends. But also remember, again, don't ask for something from people that you can't give. I think I said this in my previous video. For me to say to people, my boundary is honesty, it was because I knew that I can give you that honesty that I'm asking you for. So for me, it was a give and take type of thing. So again, whatever you're going to ask from people, let it be a boundary that you yourself can respect with people, with them, and in their space. Don't ask for it knowing very well that you can't give it back. You can't give back the very same thing that you are asking for them. I think we've reached our final step. Yay! So we're going to talk about the final thing is don't normalize toxic or abusive behavior. This takes us back to step 2, which is trust your gut. If you know that something is wrong, if you know that something should not be happening, don't make excuses for it. Do not make excuses for it. Do not allow it. Set your boundary and don't normalize. Don't justify it. Don't say, oh, that's the way they are. Oh, it's just the way that this environment is. Some things you don't deserve to be happening to you. Going back to setting boundaries is important with people that are in your life daily, people that are close to you. So if you have family members even that you know are quite toxic, that you know are quite negative in your life, it's important to set boundaries with those people, because those are not people that you can just let go of. Work colleagues, work in the workplace, those are people that you see every day. Those are people that you work with. So it's important even to let those people know that this is the line and you can't cross it. Remember, don't be rude about it, don't fight, just be calm. Be assertive and say that I respect you. Please respect my space as well. Please respect me as well. But if all else fails, there's those people who, friendships, partners, relationships, if setting boundaries and if trying to change the way things are is not working, there is no harm in just walking away from that relationship. There is no harm in letting go of that person. You really lose nothing, more especially if they were a person that just never added, a person or people who just never added value to your life. So that brings us to the end. Of today's video. I really hope that today's topic was helpful. I hope that today's topic was something that we understood and that I spoke to somebody. Once again, if you like what you see and you like to hear more of what I have to offer, please hit the subscribe button. I've got a lot more content that I'm working on, so please subscribe so that you won't miss out on anything. Otherwise, you can follow me on my Instagram, my Facebook, and on Twitter. I will try and leave the links below, and I hope to see more and more people on the page. Thank you for joining my video, and I hope you have a good day.